It all begins with the mesmerizing broadcast of a tower called Babylon, home to an undefeated monster lurking on its illustrious 40th floor. Our screens showcase the valiant efforts of the Black Dragon Guild, bravely venturing forth to conquer this fearsome boss. Alas, their attempts end in failure, leaving the beast unscathed and undefeated. But fear not, for our tale takes a thrilling turn when a lone hunter emerges from the shadows to claim victory single-handedly. With the air buzzing, a daring reporter manages to secure an interview with this extraordinary individual, promptly bestowing upon him the nickname the Flame Emperor. Ah, but hold your excitement, for our protagonist doesn't share the same enthusiasm for this fiery nickname, reacting with an unexpected disdain. News travels fast and the world eagerly tunes in, their eyes glued to screens and fingers ready to type. Comment sections ignite with fervor as discussions ignite. Whispers of romance between the Flame Emperor and a fellow hunter, known as the Saintess, flit about, enticing the gossip-hungry masses. However, amidst the chatter, a noteworthy S-rank hunter named Kim Gong-ja continuously echoes a singular desire in the comments section. I want to become like the Flame Emperor. Persistence, it seems, is his most fervent companion. The intrepid reporter, seizing the moment, requests a response from our enigmatic Flame Emperor to these aspiring hunters, and oh, how his words resonate. In a voice laced with conviction, he declares that destiny favors the chosen few, those destined to succeed. Yet he issues a chilling warning to anyone who dares cross his path. I'll kill you. These fateful words strike a deep chord within the fiery heart of Kim Gong-ja. Overwhelmed with a mix of emotions, fury bursts forth like an inferno, and tears stream down his face. But lo and behold, dear friends, in this moment of anguish, a wondrous sight unfolds. Behold, a shimmering skill card materializes before him, a gift born from envy itself. This extraordinary card harbors a power far greater than Kim Gong-ja's current S-rank skills. A golden card, they say, capable of emulating and absorbing the abilities of those who kill him. Overwhelmed with awe and confusion, he can't help but exclaim, "What kind of skill is this?" Before we continue, take a moment to answer the question of the day. What is the best skill to have in Manhwa? Comment down below for a chance to be shouted out. Now back to the recap. In a world where the impossible becomes reality, a colossal tower emerges, capturing the attention of people worldwide. Its imposing presence looms on the horizon, a mysterious beacon drawing both awe and curiosity. As whispers spread, tales of the tower's different floors housing creatures from another realm captivate the imaginations of adventurers. The lucky few who ventured inside when the tower first appeared were chosen by its enigmatic powers, bestowed with incredible abilities. But as time passed, others joined the hunt for the monstrous inhabitants, driven solely by the desire to prove their prowess. Enter Kim Gong-ja, a hapless soul burdened by the haunting words of the Flame Emperor. Seeking solace from his troubles, he finds himself in a lively bar, hoping to drown his worries in a sea of distractions. However, the bar's television blares with news about the infamous Flame Emperor and his unparalleled skill. Gong-ja, feeling disconnected from the hype, turns to the bar manager with a plea. "Can we watch something else, please?" Venting his frustration, he bemoans his newly acquired abilities, considering them utterly useless. An unexpected wave of nausea overcomes him, prompting the bar manager to hurriedly usher him outside for some fresh air. Alone in the street, Gong-ja's mind races with swirling thoughts until his attention is seized by a heated argument. Peering around the corner, he catches sight of none other than the Flame Emperor and his alleged girlfriend, the beautiful Miss Saintess. Intrigued, Gong-ja eavesdrops, his curiosity outweighing any sense of self-preservation. The Flame Emperor reveals a shocking revelation. He accuses Miss Saintess of attempting to poison him, claiming to hold the antidote as leverage. Determined to unearth the truth, he demands her confession, suspecting the involvement of the notorious Black Dragon. Yet, Miss Saintess remains silent, prompting the Flame Emperor to deliver a fiery punishment. Witnessing the scene unfold, Gong-ja can no longer contain himself. Bursting forth from his hiding spot, he thinks, "Murderer! Psychopath!" Fear takes hold, propelling him to flee, but his escape is short-lived. The Flame Emperor, aware of Gong-ja's presence, seizes him, realizing the danger posed by a witness. Trapped and helpless, Gong-ja meets his untimely demise at the hands of the fearsome Flame Emperor. Yet, as his consciousness fades away, a glimmer of hope appears in a strange realm. A command beckons, asking him to choose a skill card, promising him a second chance. With uncertainty weighing heavy, Gong-ja selects a card, and to his astonishment, the skill of the Flame Emperor materializes before his eyes. Suddenly, he awakens in his humble room, greeted by the same news of the Black Dragon Guild's failure from the day earlier. Our hero, Kim Gongja, finds himself in a mind-boggling situation. Just moments ago, he was slain by the fearsome Flame Emperor. But hold your horses. Instead of moving on to the great beyond, Gongja discovers a nifty trick up his sleeve. He checks his trusty skill card, and lo and behold, he's been sent back a whole 24 hours before his untimely demise. Talk about a second chance. But here's the kicker. Gongja realizes that he actually acquired this amazing skill from none other than the Flame Emperor himself. It turns out that the Flame Emperor had faced his demise due to a nefarious poison, but managed to turn back time just like Gongja did. That explains how the Flame Emperor knew all about the moves of the enigmatic Miss Saintess. The plot thickens. As Gongja ponders the implications of this newfound revelation, a fiery commotion catches his attention outside. Curiosity piqued, he ventures forth to witness a spectacle like no other. People are frantically gathered, and various members of different guilds are desperately trying to extinguish the flames engulfing the surroundings. Little do they know, Gongja uncovers the truth. The Flame Emperor is the one who started the inferno to cover his tracks. Sneaky, huh? And just like that, the Flame Emperor struts onto the scene, his ego inflating faster than the flames around him. He shamelessly demands rewards for putting an end to the blaze he ignited. Well, Gongja has had enough of this villainous showboating. Filled with determination, he decides to take matters into his own hands and put an end to the Flame Emperor once and for all. Without hesitation, Gongja immerses himself in the scorching fire, sacrificing his life to turn back time another 24 hours. But here's the mind-bending twist. No matter how many times Gongja attempts to eliminate the Flame Emperor, it seems that they're locked in an eternal loop. Both of them possess the same time-traveling skill, ensuring that they'll always return to the same point in time. As the gears in Gongja's mind start to click, he unravels the mystery of the Flame Emperor's origins. It dawns on him that the Flame Emperor's first awakening occurred precisely 11 years ago, on a fateful June 7th. This revelation leads Gongja to a startling realization. The Flame Emperor can only meet his permanent demise if he goes back a whopping 4,045 days ago. With determination burning in his eyes, Gongja concocts a plan that defies logic. He decides to take matters into his own hands once again, but this time, in the most unconventional way imaginable. Armed with a blade, he begins stabbing himself repeatedly, embracing a cycle of life and death. Each time he awakens, he finds himself one day prior to his previous demise. After dying multiple times, yes, Gongja has some serious dedication, he becomes well acquainted with the Emperor's daily routines. Armed with this invaluable knowledge, Gongja is ready to execute his plan and bring justice to the land. He begins tracking the now F-class Flame Emperor throughout his day. In a stroke of genius, Gongja disguises himself as a desperate soul in need of urgent help. He approaches the Flame Emperor, seemingly appearing out of thin air, claiming to have been attacked by wolves. Talk about an unexpected twist. To sweeten the deal, Gongja offers a tempting sum of 20 gold to buy his portion. However, the Flame Emperor, despite lamenting his ruined hunt, greedily desires the cheap price for the portion. This is where things take an unexpected turn. Enter Yu Suha, driven by his own avarice, who takes advantage of Gongja's vulnerability and extorts him, snatching away all the hard-earned money. Yu Suha's actions do not go unnoticed, and Gongja decides that enough is enough. In a move that catches Yu Suha completely off guard, Gongja rises from the shadows, swiftly stabbing him. The shocked Flame Emperor meets his demise, while Gongja avenges his betrayal. As a final twist, Gongja feeds Yu Suha's lifeless body to the wolves, leaving no trace of his enemy behind. But the story doesn't end there. Gongja, ever the resourceful one, changes his blood-soaked clothes to a fresh set he had cleverly hidden away. With his mission accomplished, he sets off to transfer to Floor 1 City, ready to face new challenges. As Gongja ventures forth, he encounters a group of clueless vigilante corps who seem to be unaware of the recent events. The news also remains oblivious to Yu Suha's demise. Filled with relief and elation, Gongja celebrates his victory by indulging in some reckless beer drinking. After all, who wouldn't after successfully vanquishing the terrible legend of the Flame Emperor? Just when Gongja thought things were settling down, an old man enters the scene, requesting an unusual concoction of vodka and sugar in warm milk. Gongja's suspicious gaze falls upon him. In a world where hunters reign supreme, there stands an old man who holds the coveted rank of number 1. Gongja, an aspiring hunter, marvels at the sheer skill and prowess possessed by this legendary figure. Known as the Sword St. Marcus Calenbury, the old man captivates the crowd in a local bar with his reputation. Curiosity takes hold of Gongja as he receives anonymous messages on his phone, all concerning the Sword Saint. The messages warn him about a forbidden word that must never be uttered in the presence of the legendary hunter. To emphasize the gravity of the situation, a captivating tale unfolds, narrating how the Sword Saint once confronted a group of arrogant hunters on the treacherous floor 9 hunting grounds. In a fit of rage, he unleashed his fury upon them after they mocked his beloved grandchildren. A crucial advisory message flashes before Gongja's eyes, cautioning him to never mention the Sword Saint's grandchildren if he wishes to spare his own life. The sudden revelation of these messages leaves Gongja astounded, caught completely off guard. The Sword Saint's imposing presence continues to dominate the bar, with his captivating attitude commanding everyone's attention. Eventually he departs, and Gongja, driven by his curiosity, decides to follow him discreetly. As Gongja trails the legendary hunter, he ponders the unimaginable skills possessed by the Sword Saint. If Yu Su-ha, another remarkable hunter, possesses such awe-inspiring abilities, what kind of power would the exalted rank one hold? Unbeknownst to Gongja, the Sword Saint possesses a keen awareness and quickly discerns his pursuer. They find themselves in a secluded spot, concealed by bushes, where the Sword King suddenly turns to face Gongja, revealing a surprising plot twist. With a mix of intrigue and uncertainty, Gongja musters the courage to ask a favor, only to be met with a string of incomprehensible words from the Sword Saint. Finally, the Sword King accuses Gongja of murder, claiming to have witnessed the staggering number of kills etched upon his very being. Gongja's mind races as he realizes that he had always believed Yu Su-ha to be his sole kill. However, the shocking truth dawns upon him. Gongja has unknowingly taken the lives of 4,091 individuals, including the notorious Flame Emperor, and even himself, an astonishing 4,090 times. The sheer magnitude of Gongja's unintended spree sends shivers down the Sword Saint's spine, compelling him to launch a ferocious attack. In a dazzling display of swordsmanship, the Sword King brandishes his weapon, its blade gleaming in the sunlight. Gongja, our nimble protagonist, effortlessly dodges the lethal strikes. However, fate takes an unexpected turn as Gongja stumbles and tumbles to the ground. Meanwhile, the Sword King, lost in his own thoughts, continues to mutter to himself. Suspicion creeps into Gongja's mind. He begins to suspect that the Sword Saint is leaking their secrets to others, which could make him infamous and bring countless adversaries to his doorstep. Gongja realizes that if he wishes to inherit the Sword Saint's skills, he must make the ultimate sacrifice, his life. And so, with a mischievous glint in his eye, he utters words that strike the Sword King to the core, insulting the Sword Saint's beloved grandchildren. In an instant, the Sword King's wrath is unleashed. With one swift motion, he beheads Gongja, bringing an end to his life. However, this is not the end of Gongja's journey. As his spirit drifts away, he finds himself transported to the mystical realm of skill acquisition. It is here that he encounters a familiar sight, a golden card, just like the one that granted him the powers of the Flame Emperor. But wait, a twist awaits Gongja in this realm. The golden card he seeks is nowhere to be found. Instead, he is faced with an assortment of silver and bronze cards. Undeterred, Gongja perseveres and selects a card, desperately pleading with it to grant him the secret behind the Sword Saint's extraordinary abilities. As if by magic, the Sword Saint's skill is copied into Gongja's being, and he is granted a second chance at life. However, as he awakens, he realizes that he hasn't acquired the main Sword Saint skill. Instead, he possesses an incredible A+ passive skill. Eager to explore his newfound power, he eagerly opens the skill card, only to be startled by a voice beside him. Gongja minding his own business when suddenly he hears the words of this peculiar guy. But wait, there's a catch. This guy is talking about Gramps and the need for some serious training. Intriguing, right? Gongja can't help but reply to this ghostly individual, and when he locks eyes with Gongja, shockwaves ripple through him. Why? Because Gongja used to be associated with none other than the legendary Sword Saint. Talk about a mind-blowing connection. As the conversation unfolds, Gongja learns that this strange guy is no ordinary human. In fact, he's a ghost. The twist? Only those who possess his unique skill can see and interact with him. It turns out that Gongja has unwittingly acquired the Sword Saint's ability to communicate with this ghostly companion. Suddenly, everything clicks into place, and Gongja realizes why the Sword Saint appeared to be talking to himself all along. But hold on tight. The ghost's demand for a swift return to Gramps echoes through the air. Panic sets in as the ghost realizes he's stuck with a kid who has no filter and speaks his mind. He starts pointing fingers at the Sword Saint, accusing him of being irresponsible for the current predicament. Just when things couldn't get any more bizarre, a random kid steps forward and clones the ghost, creating an unexpected twist. Now Gongja finds himself caught up in a conversation with two versions of this ghostly companion. Whew! As the dialogue continues, Gongja reveals the mind-blowing truth to the skeptical ghost. He recounts the kill count etched on the Sword Saint's head and his own ambition to face the Sword Saint in combat, hoping to inherit his powers and become the ultimate hunter. The ghost's disbelief is palpable, questioning how an amateur like Gongja could amass such a staggering number of kills. However, Gongja fearlessly explains his journey, from earning those kills to arriving in the present era, and his unwavering determination to face the Sword Saint head-on. Talk about determination and guts. Amidst the conversation, the ghost's curiosity peaks, and he requests to witness Gongja's monster hunting skills firsthand. The duo embarks on an adventure to the hunting grounds where Gongja unleashes his deadly prowess on the unsuspecting monsters. But here's the kicker. Gongja's remarkable talent doesn't lie in his hunting abilities. It's his unyielding, no-fear attitude toward death that makes him truly exceptional. The ghost, impressed by Gongja's audacity, reveals that the Sword Saint also has a different version of himself by his side, igniting a fiery competition between Gongja and the legendary hunter. With newfound admiration, the ghost pledges to help Gongja surpass all others and seize control of the tower. The ghost bursts into Gongja's room, shouting at him to wake up and start the day. Gongja, half asleep, pleads for just 5 more minutes, but the ghost won't have it and insists that he rise from his cozy bed. Reluctantly, Gongja finally stumbles to his feet, only to realize that it's a painfully early 4 a.m. in the morning. Cue the disappointment. A hilarious quarrel ensues between Gongja and the ghost, who dubs him Zombie Kim, since Gongja just won't die, metaphorically speaking. After venting their frustrations, they decide to venture out and continue their discussion while taking a walk. As they stroll along, the ghost can't help but criticize Gongja, pointing out his apparent lack of talent. To illustrate his point, the ghost dramatically mimics Gongja's gestures, much to their amusement. Despite the teasing, they continue their friendly banter. Soon enough, they arrive at the United Merchants, the monopoly of the tower's economy, owned by the renowned rank 3 hunter, Countess. Countess has an impressive cheat skill that enables users to trade with the outside world. Gongja approaches the attendant, who happens to be sporting a quirky cat ear cap. He confidently requests his lottery winnings, causing the attendant's eyes to widen in shock when he sees the staggering amount of 53000G on Gongja's identification slip. Unable to contain his excitement, the attendant rushes to call the manager. The manager promptly arrives, guiding Gongja to the upper floor. Once there, Gongja is presented with a jaw-dropping sight, his 53,000 gold, glimmering and tempting. However, the manager offers him a choice: take the money or save it for something better. In a moment of contemplation, Gongja decides to resist the temptation and chooses to save the money for future endeavors. Showing his newfound responsibility, he then decides to invest some of his wealth in a Tier 2 guild member title. After all, Gongja is determined to join a guild on the tower, especially since the Flame Emperor rejected every guild and made powerful enemies along the way. But he's not done yet. Gongja, feeling lucky and confident, requests the manager to secure him a swanky apartment, upgrading his living situation. And to top it all off, he slyly asks the manager to keep his identity a secret in case any nosy news outlet comes snooping around, dying to know who the first place winner is. Gongja's got it all figured out. In the bustling city, Gongja found himself strolling alongside a mischievous ghost. Now, this ghost, being quite the advisor, gave Gongja 2 intriguing options to enhance his skills: either delve into ancient martial arts scrolls or indulge in magical potions to boost his physical abilities. The ghost, with a twinkle in his ethereal eye, suggested they go for the latter, and even knew just the right shop to visit. But alas, fate had its own plans for our daring hero. As they were about to embark on their potion-filled adventure, a legendary figure known as the Sword Saint made an unexpected appearance. Gongja's heart skipped a beat, and he swiftly transformed into a master of disguise, hiding skillfully behind a trash can. The Sword Saint, unknowingly, entered the very shop they had intended to visit. With the Sword Saint's formidable presence lingering nearby, it became a daring endeavor for Gongja to enter the shop. Undeterred by this unexpected twist, our quick-thinking duo decided to find an alternative store. Off they went, wandering through the vibrant yet rugged slums of the city. As Gongja and the ghost traversed the busy streets, people couldn't help but notice Gongja seemingly engaged in animated conversations with himself. His antics sparked whispers among the curious onlookers, who couldn't help but wonder if he was a bit touched in the head. Little did they know, Gongja was simply conversing with his spectral companion. Finally, after a series of adventures through the lively slums, they arrived at another shop. Much to their dismay, they discovered a distressing scene unfolding before their eyes. The once proud alchemist, who specialized in crafting these coveted portions, stood helplessly in the middle of the road. Her instruments and precious potions were being confiscated, while her desperate pleas fell on deaf ears. Witnessing this injustice, Gongja's heart swelled with a sense of compassion. He approached the downtrodden alchemist, promising to make an expensive order to uplift her spirits. The alchemist, on the verge of despair, couldn't believe her ears when Gongja casually mentioned a whopping 20,000 coins for the portion he wished to purchase. In a shabby little shop, the enigmatic pharmacist beckons Gongja inside, inviting him to place an order. With a mischievous twinkle in her eye, she makes it clear that she won't tolerate any drug-related requests. Gongja reassures her with a smirk, insisting that his order is far from illicit substances. As they haggle over the price, the tension builds. Just when it seems like things might take a dull turn, a whispering ghost intervenes, revealing the secret ingredient for the potion Gongja seeks. Simultaneously, Gongja shares this secret with the pharmacist. However, the skeptical ghost still doubts her competence until she begins explaining the art of mixing the ingredients. Suddenly, the ghost starts to feel a grudging respect for her. Leaving the shop with their newfound admiration for the pharmacist, Gongja and the ghost engage in a lively conversation about her impressive expertise. But then, like a waterfall of surprise, Gongja spills the beans. His true motive for seeking her out was her future rise to power as the head honcho of the alchemy castle a whole decade from now. Time flies, and after 4 suspenseful days, the pharmacist arrives at Gongja's doorstep, delivering the potion he ordered. In a moment of curiosity, she can't help but inquire why Gongja continues to patronize her, despite her diminished status and tarnished reputation. With a mischievous grin, Gongja lets his thoughts wander, contemplating the pharmacist's clever ways of defying the despised Flame Emperor. He finally responds, declaring that he supports her because she is genuinely kind and deserving of success. With her parting words, the pharmacist assures Gongja that if he ever needs anything else, he need only call, promising to prioritize his requests. And so she leaves, her presence lingering like an intriguing question in the air. Eager to test the potion's effects, Gongja and the ghost venture to the 3rd floor hunting ground of the tower. Without hesitation, Gongja raises the mysterious elixir to his lips and takes a sip. Suddenly his body convulses with strange reactions and the ghost springs into action, teaching him how to master the elixir's powers within him. As they exchange words, the air thickens with tension, and monsters emerge from the shadows. With urgency in its voice, the ghost commands Gongja to flee. Gongja bravely faces off against the fearsome monster orc, armed with nothing but determination and a mysterious ghost by his side. Gongja leaps into action, ready to take on the monstrous challenge. Now here's the twist. Gongja has no clue how to defeat the orc, but that doesn't stop him from dashing around, eagerly listening to every instruction from his spectral companion. It's like a wild dance of guidance and agility as he gathers aura energy at his feet, granting him the power of super high jumps. Whoosh! With his newfound jump strength, Gongja takes a daring leap towards the monster, landing right on its chest. But plot twist. The orc's skin is tougher than a dragon's scales, and Gongja's blade can't penetrate it. It's like trying to cut through solid rock with a butter knife. Fear not, for our trusty ghost friend comes to the rescue with a brilliant suggestion. Gathering aura on the tip of his blade, Gongja channels his inner warrior and follows the ghost's advice. With a mighty strike, he finally manages to slay the relentless beast. Victory is within his grasp. But wait, there's a catch. Gongja's excitement got the better of him, and he forgot an important step: meditation to control the aura. As a consequence, he's left feeling as weak as a newborn kitten after the adrenaline rush. It's like he just completed a marathon while wearing a suit of heavy armor. In a cruel twist of fate, another orc monster seizes the opportunity and strikes Gongja down. Ouch! It's game over for our hero. Or is it? As always, Gongja returns to the realm, accompanied by his faithful ghost companion. They have a heart-to-heart, and Gongja reveals his incredible secret. Every time he dies, he gets to copy the skills of his killer. But here's where things get really mind-blowing. As they delve deeper, they discover that the monster orc also possesses some seriously impressive skills. Gongja stood before a collection of mysterious skill cards, contemplating which one held the key to his success. As he pondered, his spectral companion, the mischievous ghost, floated nearby. Unlike Gongjia, the ghost possessed the supernatural ability to see the skills inscribed on each card. A mischievous grin spread across Gongjia's face as he turned to the ghost and eagerly requested his assistance in deciphering the hidden talents. With a playful twinkle in his incorporeal eyes, the ghost gladly obliged, unraveling the secrets of the skill cards one by one. Gongjia listened intently, absorbing each description with growing excitement. Finally, his decision was made. He reached out and snatched the orc wrapping skill card, a cunning ability capable of tricking even the most formidable orc monster into a vulnerable state. In a twist of fate, Gongjia suddenly found himself transported back to his humble abode, precisely 24 hours before his previous venture. Undeterred by the temporal reset, he resolved to return to the hunting ground and put his newfound skill to the test. Gongjia seized the opportunity to seize his destiny, leaving the ghost filled with equal parts anticipation and concern. However, much to the ghost's dismay, Gongjia seemed intent on pursuing his own unorthodox path. Rejecting the ghost's proposal to train in mastering the enigmatic aura for 6 long months, Gongjia brushed aside the offer and headed straight for the treacherous 3rd floor, brimming with fearsome monster orcs. The ghost's ethereal brow furrowed in worry, uncertain of Gongjia's audacious decision. With a bold flourish, Gongjia unleashed the power of the orc language skill, weaving an intricate web of deception that entrapped the unsuspecting monster orc. As the creature stumbled into a vulnerable state, Gongjia struck with unwavering precision, delivering a decisive blow. The ghost, despite grumbling about the use of such trickery, couldn't deny the exhilaration that surged through Gongjia's triumphant act. United by their shared purpose, Gongjia and the ghost prepared to ascend to the formidable 4th floor, bracing themselves for greater challenges ahead. Just a week later, our fearless hero Gongjia reaches the magnificent 5th floor, ready to face his next formidable foe. With a swift and masterful strike, Gongjia unleashes his Goblin Cry skill, instantly obliterating the mighty Goblin King. It's clear that this is the toughest adversary Gongjia has conquered so far, marking a significant milestone in his journey. As a reward for his victory, Gongjia is not only showered with experience points, but also achieves a remarkable level up. With this newfound power, his skill slot expands, catapulting him into the coveted E-rank hunter status. The ghost, a wise and enigmatic presence, seizes the opportunity to share his knowledge about the aura that Gongjia will possess, based on the effects that accompany his level-ups. Gongjia, fueled by an insatiable thirst for challenges, sets his sights on the ultimate goal of conquering the notorious 10th floor. With unwavering determination, he makes a daring bet with the ghost. If he successfully clears this treacherous floor, the ghost must relinquish his informal moniker and address him with the respect he deserves. However, Gongjia's determination and quick thinking know no bounds. When he arrives at the entrance of the formidable 10th floor, a stern and skeptical guard blocks his path. The guard dismisses Gongjia's audacious attempt, citing the failure of the renowned Black Dragon Guild Master and its members. He deems Gongjia's solo mission nothing short of suicide. But wait, Gongjia isn't one to back down easily. Drawing upon his resourcefulness, he weaves a web of lies to sway the guard's judgment. With a heavy heart, he claims to have recently lost his beloved and even reveals a fabricated tale of an incurable illness, foretelling his imminent demise. Gongjia pleads with the guard, yearning to meet his fate as an honorable hunter, even offering a small bribe as a token of his desperation. With his smooth tongue and a touch of deceit, Gongjia manages to convince the guard to grant him access to the forbidden 10th floor. The guard, swayed by Gongjia's tragic circumstances and the allure of the offered coin, relents and allows him to proceed. And so, our intrepid hero steps into the foreboding building, preparing to face the next daunting challenge. Inside, Gongjia is greeted by a spectacle that would make anyone's heart race. Numerous fire-emitting dolls await him, inviting him to participate in a thrilling game of hide-and-seek. We get a flashback, hearing of the Black Dragon Guild's 30th failed attempt. The news spreads like wildfire, and the guild claims it was all down to bad luck. But hold on tight, because here comes the Flame Emperor to drop a fiery truth bomb. Luck is actually a skill. And guess what? He conquered the formidable 10th floor like a boss. Our trusty protagonist, Gongjia, jumps in to shed some light on the Flame Emperor's triumph. You see, the Flame Emperor may have called it luck, but Gongjia knows better. The Flame Emperor possesses a blazing skill called Fire Aura, which turns him into a human torch, rendering him immune to the fiery dangers of the 10th floor. Impressive, right? Now brace yourselves for the ultimate challenge. Gongja, being the adventurous soul that he is, agrees to play a thrilling game of hide and seek with none other than fire dolls. Yep, you heard that right. He has to track down the one real doll and destroy it before the relentless flames consume him. Talk about a race against time. With adrenaline pumping through his veins, Gongja takes a leap of faith and snatches a doll at random, hoping it's the real deal. But alas, it turns out to be a fake, melting away in his hands like a popsicle on a scorching summer day. Poor Gongja is left standing there, clueless, as the seconds tick away on the clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The moment of truth arrives and the fire rages with fury, engulfing Gongja in its fiery embrace. Ouch! It's game over for our daring hero, and he finds himself back in the skill acquisition realm, pondering his next move. But wait, there's more. Gongja is not one to forget promises. He reminds the ghost, who he affectionately calls Zombie, that he wants to be addressed by his real name, Gongja. No more spooky nicknames for him. Ever determined, Gongja seeks the ghost's guidance once again. He urges the ghost to spill the beans on the skills he's acquired. However, Gongja is no sheep. He doesn't simply follow the ghost's advice blindly. Oh no, he takes matters into his own hands and selects the skill he believes will serve him best. And just like that, a penalty comes crashing down upon Gongja. But hey, in life you win some, you lose some. The trauma of the monstrous fire maiden resurfaces. Gongja begins to see orphan children in another world begging for bread and getting rejected by the people. Enter a seemingly kind-hearted man who stepped in to rescue one of the orphans, promising her safety. Little did Gongja know that this man had a dark secret. Instead of providing a nurturing home, he cruelly confined the innocent child in a cage. It turns out this man believed that these orphans were a blight on their society and should be eliminated. How sinister. As Gongja and the ghost watched in horror, their hearts heavy with the weight of the children's suffering, the unthinkable happened. The very house where the orphans were held captive caught fire, sending the wicked workers running, leaving the trapped children behind. Gongja bore witness to the full extent of the evil that had been done to them, and finally, the trauma came to an end. But alas, when Gongja awoke, finding himself back 24 hours prior as usual, he was filled with a deep melancholy. And to make matters worse, the ghost's words only served to intensify his emotional turmoil. It seemed as though the journey was taking its toll on our hero's spirit. Undeterred by the ghost's distress, Gongja made a surprising declaration as they approached the 10th floor. He declared his intention to save the doll instead of destroying it. This unexpected twist left the ghost in a state of panic, as saving the doll appeared to defy the logic of clearing the floor. Yet, in a stroke of genius, Gongja realized that the only way to conquer the 10th floor was to engage in playful interaction with the dolls. It turned out that these dolls craved companionship more than anything else. With a newfound understanding, Gongja embarked on a delightful game of hide and seek with the dolls, and in a triumphant finale, he successfully discovered the true doll, emerging victorious and clearing the enigmatic 10th floor. What will happen next? Keep your eyes peeled for part 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome recaps like this.